Hello, my name is Josiah Reyes. I'm going to be talking to you guys about my website on Crowdsourcing Innovation. The first thing I wanted to talk about is how I created my website. I created my website using Google Sites by choosing a template, customizing the layout and design. I added context such as text, images, links, and I organized the pages from navigation and I published it. So then talking about how Google Sites is different and also similar to HTML and CSS. First thing, similarities is that you can both build and publish sites on both of these. You can add text, images, links, and organize your whole page. You can design. They both allow for design and layout combination, stuff like that. The main difference is that Google Sites, the whole thing is it's like a drag and drop. So when editing, you just drag and drop, as the name says. But for HTML and CSS, it requires written code, which takes way more time and is harder to learn and do in general. But when learning that, it gives you full control and design over the structure and stuff like that. While Google Sites is a bit more limited to what you can design in general. So HTML and CSS gives you more creativity. How the website is stored, edited, and accessed. The Google site is just saved on your drive, so it stays on the cloud. When editing, I just log into my Google site on my Google account that I use to create the site, and then from there I can just edit using the drag and drop options. And for publishing and how it's access to people, after clicking published, I have a Google link which allows for people to access my site through their browsers. I can also change the setting as to make it private, limited, or keep it public for everyone to see. Graphics I used, impacts. One of the graphics I used was this one. So I mainly used, or in this one too. These two. I mainly used themes that matched the purpose of my website, which is Crowdsourcing Invitation. I also created some of the graphics, such as this one, this infographic right here, and this one right here. On a scale one through 5, how much impact using crowdsourcing has on your life? This one came through my survey, which I had on Crowdsourcing Invitation, and this one came from the editing tool called Canva, which I used to customize this and add everything I wanted. Also, this one came from Google, trying to figure out the the relevance to crowdsourcing. I also used the Google Sites built-in image tools to insert and resize the images as I pleased before I uploaded any of them. Going back home. So the intended purpose of crowdsourcing in general, like crowdsourcing conversation, is to get an idea from a group of people. So think about it like, that's a good explanation. It's just that people from around the world come together online to give information, ideas, solutions, their own personal ideas on what on an idea that what you're crowdsourcing on, such as raising money, rate fixing better services, stuff like that. So solutions to problems, anything that can involve a group of people coming together to solve something or fix something, have an impact on something. Going on to the next question, advantages and disadvantages to crowdsourcing. Two of the main disadvantages is that crowdsourcing can be like your crowdsourcing survey, whatever it is, can be accessed by almost everyone online. which is a major problem for security reasons, such for big companies and small companies that have very secretive information that shouldn't go out. And plagiarism is also something very important. Plagiarism can really hurt companies and stuff, like hurt companies get sued and stuff. The benefits that it's really easy to gather money from people who actually support your cause. So you can make that cause come true, or solution to that cause. It's also it helps with time management. When you don't have a lot of time, you can have people gather their ideas and solutions, which really speeds up the process. And impact on society, economy, and culture is that socially, individuals from around the world, no matter what your background, can help, like, with your crowdsourcing, can give your ideas to them. Economy, it helps with reduce research, development costs, and faster production development. And culturally, it changes perspective on crowdsourcing from this only being for experts to having a vast group of other people giving their ideas just from a community, so that average people can have influences on brands, inventions, and even public policies. One field outside computer science is healthcare that it has an impact on. Having health data is really important because it can help identify patterns of rare diseases and test for new hypotheses. Uh, more more data that they can use, it contributes a lot to the development of more breakthroughs for healthcare, for new cures, new ways to prevent not cures, new ways to prevent diseases from happening in the future. Going back to the survey was created by 21 people, from 21 of my peers, with 15 to 16, and that took my survey. The survey then created this graph for me that I can then put on my website. This is what I have. Scan through 1 through 5. You can see the numbers. 14% chose 1, 19% chose 2, 28 chose 3, 19 for 4 and 5. Going to technical aspects. How people interact with this isn't very difficult. Just sign up for online for like inexpensive or open IDO and comment on whatever challenges they have, or comment on other people's responses to their challenges, which helps narrow down the idea that or problem they were trying to solve. Your response is very important to crowdsourcing because it gives the person with the challenge trying to figure out what you were trying to do, what you want, like how this probably could be improved. And the technology that incorporates crowdsourcing invitation incorporates is algorithms. Algorithms are basically just filtering systems. So when there's too much ideas coming in, it can just narrow it down to the best one. Choosing the best one, most creative, with the most ratings and most relevance to the topic or said problem. Going back to impact. This video from Idea Scale describes how invitation works with groups of people to find solutions. The video covers structure of crowdsourcing invitation, receipt research, problem solving, and much more, such as company businesses and how they solve their problems using the public and their own employees. And then two references. The one reference I used the most was Top 5 Crowdsourcing Advantages and Disadvantages by Heather Bakery, because it gave the most insight to crowdsourcing.